Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you hear this message, I pray that you're poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. Ashe. A couple of days ago, I shared a lesson with you that is all about self-mastery and transcending your limitations. And in that lesson, I talked about the formation of the persona and the shadow, and how a baby starts to form their persona before they even can talk. And we know this as parents, as well as psychologists, based on the fact that, for example, a parent knows when the baby's crying because she's hungry or sleepy or needs attention or has to have the diaper changed. You can hear the difference. You know, after a while, you can tell which cry is coming from the baby. And that represents the formation of the persona. That is the way you want to be perceived in the world in order to get your needs met. At the same time that you form your persona, at the same rate that you form your persona, you also are forming your shadow. Those are all the attributes that are socially unacceptable. They're undesirable. You deny them, you repress them, you reject them. But they are still as much a part of you as your persona. Your glowing personality, your sense of humor, your independence, whatever, however you want to be perceived, your shadow, there's a shadow aspect to every single aspect of your persona. And the degree to which you can embrace and integrate your shadow is going to determine how high you go in life, how far you go, how much you evolve. And today I want to share with you another lesson to that same effect, as it unfolds in a more complex stage of development. In other words, as you get older, you become more sophisticated, you become more complex. Your internal contradictions become a lot more difficult to unravel. It's not just, four different cries. It's a whole vast network of push and pull, give and take that helps you to navigate, the complexity of life in the modern world. And to keep it simple, though, I'm gonna share with you an experience that I had as a school teacher. And it was in an urban school, and fortunately there was this really prestigious school principal, though, who had been working with the children of heads of state, senators, congressmen, etc. His name was John Oubre, and he used to run a school in Washington, D.C. that was for the political elite. And so it was really interesting to see how the teachers in the urban setting were so angry about the misbehavior of certain students, and they wanted to punish these students for their misbehavior. They were mad. On this particular day, they were so mad. And, rightfully so. The children were out of control. You can imagine, if you've ever been in an inner city school, it gets pretty bonkers. And so they wanted to punish these children. They wanted to suspend them. They wanted to expel them. They wanted to put them on an eternal timeout. They just like, we got to do something because I can't take it. And so John Oubre listened to everything that they had to say. And then once they had pretty much vented all of their frustrations and what they wanted to happen, he says, listen, let me explain something to you. A child will come to school and they will misbehave because they know that this is the only place that they're going to get corrected and not punished. They aren't sophisticated enough to say, these are my needs. I need you to show me how to manage my emotions. I need you to show me how to use my words. I need you to show me and teach me impulse control. They can't say that. They just instinctively know, and experientially they know, this is the place for me to act a fool, because these people are going to tell me and show me what I've done, why it's wrong, why it's not acceptable. And then they're going to give me the natural consequences that is intended to correct my misbehavior. I need that. In order for me to be the highest version of myself, I need that. And you probably remember being a child in school and having that teacher who you loved, because she wouldn't take no half stepping. She kept you in line. He kept you in line. Seemed like he was seen around every corner. As soon as you got out of line, he was on you. Come on over here. Give me what you owe. That ain't what we're doing, and you know it. Why is that not okay? What's going to have to happen as a result? And they would keep you in check. And you love that teacher. You love that teacher because they gave you the correction and the structure and the direction that you needed. That dynamic continues throughout our lives. We get to be, sometimes people didn't have a teacher like that, or they didn't have a teacher like that long enough. Sometimes people didn't have a coach like that. They didn't have a boss at their job like that. They didn't have an elder or a mentor like that. And they get to be 30, 35, 40, 45 years old, and they're still crying out for help. They're still clamoring for direction, and they just don't know how to ask for it. I want to tell you, if you are one of those people and you keep finding yourself in these difficult, precarious situations wherein, for one reason or another, you just keep finding yourself on the wrong end of the stick, you're just, for all intents and purposes, on paper, everything should be going perfectly. You should be getting everything you want and you need out of this circumstance. But for some reason, it keeps falling apart. I want to tell you, the common denominator in all of those scenarios is you. You are the source and the cause of your misfortune. You are the architect of all the disaster in your life. You need to understand the degree to which you are the architect of all the disaster in your life, because you're trying to get help. But every time you are in a position to get help, you reject it. You push away. You walk away. You storm off. You do something that is just irreconcilable. And you end up again on the outskirts. That has everything to do with what we call the Pygmalion effect, the self-fulfilling prophecy. You believe in your heart that you're not worthy of correction. And you've made a series of decisions that will ultimately affirm your unworthiness. And when it pans out exactly that way, you say, see, that justifies me acting up. That justifies me storming off. That justifies me being in isolation or doing whatever it is your next, harebrained scheme is. I want you to face yourself, and I want you to acknowledge the real need for correction, for redirection, for instruction. And I want you to go to the place where you know you're going to get the best instruction. If it means you got to go and apologize, if it means you got to eat crow, if it means whatever it is you got to do, don't cheat yourself anymore. You are worthy of the best instruction. You are worthy of the highest level of teaching and correction. You deserve it. You can have that. And you have what it takes to undergo those changes. You can do it. Go to the place where you know you're going to get the best instruction, and do whatever it takes to be taught in the environment where the standards are highest, where the quality is best. Go there and subject yourself to it fully and completely and absolutely. Trust your destiny. Trust that your Ori is going to bring you to the best of the best. But don't keep telling yourself that you got it all figured out, because you don't. What you're doing is you're downgrading your life week after week, season after season, year after year. And if you're not careful, it will become irrevocable. It will become a habit. It will be, as my mother used to say, the die is cast. And that is part of what we saw this year in our temple. That Ifa was telling us that some of the things that you have, some of the things that you have crafted in your life, you're not going to get the full benefit. You're not going to be able to recover fully some of the things. But it doesn't mean that you're out. It just means that you're going to have to accept it as it is and go with what you got. So I'm sending this lesson out to the leaders. This is for all the people who really, really and truly want to improve the world through positive influence. I want you to find out how Oloye Obafemi Origuwa and the Orisha Lifestyle Academy can help you take your practice and your life to the highest level possible. Visit me at obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com, and let's start working together to help you live the medicine that will heal your life and heal the lives of those who you are destined to serve. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Odabo.